Hi everyone, we're here to talk about Scalar School of Technology. We've been receiving many thousands of applications and a lot of questions, so we're here to answer all of them. My name is Bhavik Rathod. I'm the president at Scalar School of Technology. I lead the 4-year undergraduate program in computer science out here. Prior to this, I ran an education startup which was focusing on early childhood learning, mostly for the North America market. And before that, I was the founding leader and the director at Uber and Uber Eats in India and South Asia. I have with me Abhimanyu Saxena, who is also the co-founder at Scalar and InterviewBit. Prior to that, he was the founding engineer for Fab.com, which was one of the fastest unicorns in the world. And before that, he's also been a IIIT Hyderabad alumni. So all right, Abhimanyu, we're here to answer some questions for our students, and we've been getting a lot of them from many thousands of applications. So Abhimanyu, one of the most common questions we get from parents and learners is that this is our first year. Why should they trust us?
That's a great question. When someone is planning to join a college, it's very important that you can have high confidence that this is the right place for you to spend next 4 years and shape your future. So now you're right that this is the first year of Scalar School of Technology. But that being said, Scalar have been around for almost a decade. If we talk about the founders, me and Anshuman, we have been in industry for almost 15 years, worked with companies like Facebook, which I'm sure everyone knows about, Fab, which have been one of the fastest unicorn in the world back in 2012. And also talking about the team, you yourself, you led the team to build Uber India, Uber Eats. We have people in our leadership team who have been CXOs of companies like Myntra, Amazon, Facebook, and a lot many more. Talking about who have studied with us in the past. Close to 40,000 working professionals in the IT industry have joined Scalar to become the top tech professionals in the Indian and global software industry. If we talk about the placements outcome of them, which in my opinion is the most important thing about an educational institute. So Amazon, for example, which is one of the most reputed tech employer across the world, hired more people as software engineers out of the Scalar graduates pool than all the IITs combined. Here I'm not talking about just one of the IITs, but all the IITs in India. If we talk about what kind of salaries they have gotten, so we got KPMG to do a placement audit, and Scalar's graduate in the past had an average salary of 21.6 lakhs. So I think these are fairly strong numbers. Adding to that, we have been backed by investors who have been very early investors in companies like Apple, Google, WhatsApp, Instagram, which is like Sequoia India. We have Lightrock who backed us as an investor. We have Tiger Global who backed us. Not just these institutional investors who are most respected investors in the world. We have likes of Kunal Shah of Cred. We have Binny Bansal of Flipkart. We have Vijay Shekhar Sharma supporting Scalar School of Technology. So these are really, really prominent members of the Indian tech entrepreneur ecosystem and who are backing us to make sure that we are able to contribute meaningfully to the tech ecosystem of the country. So I think all of this are fairly strong points that which positions Scalar as one of the strongest player to create a very high quality tech university.
Now, Abhimanyu, we've designed a very, very strong curriculum in computer science. But one of the questions we get from our students is that do they need any prior coding experience before they come here?
No, I agree that the curriculum, even some of the professionals in the industry, when they look at the curriculum, they say, you are teaching them a lot of things, right? But the good thing is that we have designed the entire learning journey in 4 years in a way that knowing any programming or fundamentals of computer science is absolutely not needed at the time of joining. As long as someone is able to do well in our entrance test that we have very carefully designed to check for the learnability and mathematical aptitude of an individual. The pedagogy and curriculum is designed in a way that even if someone have never coded before in life, they would absolutely be able to learn it effectively as long as they put in the right amount of effort towards it. So knowing a programming language, absolutely not needed. Like if I talk about myself, when I finished my school, I had never touched a computer. But I was able to build skills in computer science fairly well. we have tried to ensure that even students without coding experience can do very well in the curriculum.
Great. So tell me, if I'm a student and I'm a high caliber student and I have possibilities of getting admissions in multiple different institutions and colleges, universities out there, including some of the more traditional institutions also, and I also have an admission offer from Scalar School of Technology, how should I make this choice?
I'm sure that majority of students who get selected in Scalar School of Technology will have very hard choices to make, because of course they're super smart students. Most likely they will have multiple options, right? Now I would answer it at two levels. First is that knowing that what do you want to do in career, right? So if you are fairly clear that you enjoy computer science, you enjoy mathematics, and you want to make a career in the field of software engineering or data sciences or AI and ML, then first thing is that you have to prioritize computer science. Because joining any other branch, no matter how famous, how old, how good an institute is, but if you are joining a subject in which you don't want to make your career, then effectively you would end up wasting your 4 years, right? So first thing is that. Now, if you are clear that you want to make a career in the field of technology, focused more on things related to computer science, then look at that what is the curriculum, like, whatever options that you have to study computer science, what kind of curriculum they have. Because now if you look at how much technology has evolved in last 20-30 years, like if I talk about a smartphone, around which mostly our life revolves, right, all the way from waking up to sleeping, it almost just 15 years back it didn't exist. iPhone, for example, was launched in 2008, just 15 years back, right? Now if I compare with even the computer science curriculum at many universities, if you look at their curriculum 20 years back and if you look at their curriculum today, there's barely any change. So like looking at the curriculum becomes very, very important, that it has to be curriculum which makes you ready for the industry today, not what the industry was 30 years back when those curriculums were designed. I think those two parameters to evaluate would help people take the right decision for their real career instead of being biased by some of the influences and biases that exist. Third important point is also who is teaching, right? So again, if your goal is making a very strong career in the industry in the field of things related to computer science, then the best people to teach you for that are people who are practicing in those, working on those cutting edge technologies, building things which are cutting edge. So I think basis these making the decision will lead to much better decision making.
So picking up from the last point that you just made, what kind of faculty or what kind of instructors will be teaching at Scalar School of Technology?
So like our one very core belief have been that anyone who is teaching should be a person who does that himself in a real industry. Again, drawing the parallel from the medical industry, right? If a surgeon has to be trained to be a really great surgeon, it has to be trained by a person who does the surgery day in and day out. Unfortunately, that is how most of the medical education system has evolved. If I look at, let's say, anyone who is doing a master's in surgery, their trainers, their instructors, their professors are the people who will be doing some surgeries in the day, and in the later half in the afternoon they will be training, right? So every single person who is teaching at Scalar are people who are industry practitioners. Now talking about some of the people, for example, Shrikant Verma, who was one of the founding members of Amazon's AI and ML lab in Seattle. He's the person who is the entire architect of Scalar's AI and ML modules, and he's the person who will be teaching as well. We have Shivank. Shivank was a senior tech leader at Microsoft before joining Scalar as in the academic team. Now he's the person who is designing the core software engineering curriculum, and he's going to teach as well. Apart from these people, both part of the Scalar team, industry professionals who come to Scalar School of Technology to teach, we also have these super mentors who are the most successful, most celebrated tech entrepreneurs, and they keep visiting Scalar School of Technology very often, so that like our students can derive a lot of motivation, inspiration and guidance for them, and like which enables them to dream really, really big, which is beyond just what they could do in the shorter run, but what motivates them to probably do much more later in their career.
Wow, that sounds amazing. If it's so amazing, why are we only taking 200 students this year?
Another very, very good question. So, as I just talked about, that when someone is planning to join an institute, it's going to become their home for next 4 years. And when our students are, after their school, many of them might be stepping out of their homes for the first time in their life. We want to make sure it's truly their home, right? Now, with 200 students, we wanted to ensure that we as a team has as much focus and support for the students. Me, Anshuman, you, I'm sure we would ensure that we know every single student in our campus by their names. We understand their dreams, their aspirations, their fears, because at this age, a lot of such factors become an important part, right? So having this focus and care for them is super important. So we wanted to make sure that it's a small group of 200 students where we can give that care and focus. Another point is that Scalar today is a team of 1,500 people. These are our employee team who exist today, out of which we have a team of 100 only in the enterprise team, whose job is ensuring that our graduates are finding the best opportunities. We have worked with close to 900 employer partners. We have close to 200 instructors in the team. Now, all of this very strong and also large team is going to ensure that these 200 students get the best support possible in the world. Third and most important part, that when we talk about an educational institute, as much we learn in the classroom, we learn equally, if not more, from our peer group outside of the classroom. Then who these people are who are gonna be with me for next 4 years become super important. So in just 40 days since we announced Scalar School of Technology, we have gotten more than 10,000 people who applied for it. So and by the time, I think by July, the number could easily exceed maybe 50,000, 100,000, like whatever that number could be. But we want to make sure that we select 200 students who are really focused, who have the right attitude, and who are the most intelligent 200 kids who we can make sure that create a very high quality culture and environment in the university. So because of all of these reasons, I think we said that it's okay to have lesser students, but try and make sure that they get the best possible support and end up with the best possible outcome when they graduate.
Sounds great. They sound like the Super 200.
Absolutely, that's what it's gonna be.
All right. One of the other questions we also get is that this is a program where they get a bachelor's and a master's degree. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So starting with a requirement that a lot of countries have for immigration, that if you want to immigrate for employment in, say, North America, Europe, they often demand a 4-year formal education after your schooling. Right? Now, we wanted to figure out that what is the best kind of both degree and education that could happen in 4 years. Right? What we realized was that a combination of a 3-year undergraduate, which we are doing with BITS Pilani, followed by a 1-year master's, which we are doing with a European university called Wolf. So of course, within 1 year, the students will have to work hard, earn the 90 credits, which we are going to support them to complete. But then hence they will be graduating with a 3-year BS in computer science, followed by a 1-year Master of Science through ECTS. Now you may ask me that why is this a BS and Masters, a Bachelor's and Master's combination as opposed to a BTech, which most of the people do after school, right? Now, we thoroughly evaluated that question as well. What we learned, what we realized was that a BTech pushes us to do quite a few things which might not be most conducive for the learning outcome and the career outcome of our students. For example, in industry integration, focus on the real skill building has been the North Star for us. Right? Now, a BTech might not allow a 1-year integrated internship. Right? A BTech regulations, etc., would require us to make sure that there is a certain proportion of teachers who must have, say, a PhD or a master's. Now, what we believe is that more than having a PhD or master's, there's nothing wrong with someone who might have a PhD or master's, but these people being practitioners in industry is more important. So I would prefer to, let's say, have a very highly educated person who is also actively practitioner in the industry, as opposed to someone who might have a great, like a set of great degrees, but have never been a practitioner. So because of many of these reasons, where a BTech, some of the requirements of being a BTech degree might degrade the quality of learning, skill building and career outcome that we want to drive. Plus a master's also, so being able to get a master's in 4 years will also enable them to get preferences in the immigration process of some of the countries which have additional points for a master's holder in science, technology, engineering and management, which is, for example, Canada has that, Ireland has that. So we tried to design something which gives best value out of 4 years of the education that students are going to have. Third, and another very important point, is that as a North Star, again, a very strong belief that we have, that in today's world, the real skills matter much more than what degree you have. If I talk about my own experience of having hired, so many engineers in last 15 years, I'm sure you would have had the same experience. Ultimately, when I'm hiring someone, and this is true for all the top companies in the world as well. For example, if you go to the career portal of Google, in their FAQ section, they have actually written it that for majority of our engineering positions, engineering and research positions, we do not require any formal degree, right? And that is the world where the world is heading to, right? So while of course degrees are important, we have tried to make sure that our students get the highest quality of accredited degrees, but at the end of the day, it's the skills that matter a lot much more than what degree you have.
This sounds very similar to the medical field, where doctors learn from senior doctors, and there's a hospital right next to it also.
Absolutely.
In many ways, engineers are learning from other engineers in a tech park, surrounded by all the top tech companies in Bangalore. Sounds really exciting. So are you saying this program is recognized under UGC and AICTE?
100%. So as I mentioned, that students are going to graduate with 2 degrees. One, a Bachelor of Science from BITS Pilani. Now BITS Pilani is of course 100% recognized by UGC. It's also one of the 10 Institute of Eminence in India, right? And which is of course a great thing. As an Institute of Eminence, BITS Pilani, like AICTE, is a body created to make sure that the quality of education is good at the long tail of institute that exist. Institute of Eminence are not required to be under AICTE. They are kind of a level above that. Right? Now coming to the master's degree that the students will get from the European University, which is under ECTS, which is European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System. So as a European institute, they do not need to be, again, it's outside of purview of AICTE or UGC to be regulating a European institute. However, ECE and CES are the 2 bodies which evaluate the quality of education at, in Europe, US, and they also offer the services to do the credit transfer across different jurisdictions. So Wolf University is already approved under ECE and CES as well. So net, this is going to be a degree which is probably ECTS is, as a matter of fact, system which is most widely accepted across the globe. So students will be graduating with the degrees which are, as widely accepted across the globe as much it can be.
So a student graduating from Skill School of Technology will be eligible for competitive exams or government jobs?
Absolutely. So if I talk about, for example, if someone wants to write CAT, if they want to give GRE or GMAT, if they want to give any government exams, or they want to appear for government jobs, if they want to move abroad, they're going to be, this degree is going to enable them absolutely for any of those. Let's say if someone wants to go for additional masters after having received the Master of Science while studying at Skill School of Technology, they can go for that as well. So we have tried to make sure that once students graduate, they should have optionality to do whatever they might want to do. There should not be anything limiting them from any of the options.
Sounds great. So this is a degree from BITS Pilani, the BSc degree. How will the curriculum work? Will the curriculum be integrated seamlessly for a learner?
So again, as academicians ourselves, as a teacher who have been teaching folks for 10 years, we want to make sure that the entire process pedagogy of teaching is as efficient as possible. So BITS Pilani, for their Bachelor of Science program, they have already curated a very high quality curriculum, right? So what we did was that we have created a curriculum which is superset of what curriculum BITS Pilani prescribes. So now in our plan of the classes that we are going to conduct in our physical campus, they make sure that all the students are very well prepared to make sure that their skills on the subjects and topics that BITS Pilani has, they are fully covered, enabling them to not be bothered about separately having to prepare for the BITS Pilani exams. At the same time, as I said, that the curriculum that we have designed is a superset of the curriculum that BITS have. So we have added a lot of additional things to it, which make sure that they are very highly relevant and sought after by the industry. So in 18 months, after 18 months, when we want to make sure that they all have very high quality internships, so our curriculum is going to ensure that apart from being very competent for the BITS Pilani exams, they are very competent to get highest quality internships in the industry as well.
Wow, excellent. Can you tell me a little bit more about the fee structure? Is the fee all inclusive? Are there any additional things that are hidden in there?
So absolutely nothing hidden. The fee would make sure that it covers for their cost of tuition cost, the cost of accreditation and degree, the lodging and boarding cost, which includes a very high quality stay, a very high a campus filled with a lot of amenities, a very high quality of food. It covers all of that. Right? Now, talking about the fee, the overall fee is 19 lakhs, which is broken down over 4 years. Right? Of course, in our country, there are a lot of talented individuals who might be coming from economic weaker backgrounds, where being able to have access to high quality of education is hard. In our Scalar, we wanted to make sure that every single thing, be it the quality of their instructors, be it the quality of their accommodation, food, facilities, they all have to be top class, right? But at the same time, in a way, it's our responsibility to make sure that any really talented, deserving candidate who qualifies for through our selection process, they should not be denied just because they come from a background where they cannot afford it. So what we have also done is we have created a lot of scholarships, which are like, I'm very thankful for the industry, a lot of people from the industry who have supported these scholarships. So we have a lot of very high quality, very deep scholarships which exist to people, but of course very talented and people who need it.
Great. Are there also any financing options that we offer for this program?
Right. So very great question, that apart from scholarships, even people who might not be coming from weaker financial backgrounds, but just to manage their finances well, they might want to go for a financing option where maybe the students can pay the fee after they graduate, or the parents can pay it in small installments over time. So we have worked with some of the very reputed banks, financial systems, to offer an option to be able to take an educational loan. And different kind of options are available there depending on the preference, that what kind of monthly EMI they want to pay, when they want to start paying the EMIs. There are multiple financing options that we have been able to create.
Let's go back to scholarships, right? You spoke about the fact that there are scholarships. Can you tell me a little bit about how much scholarship can a student expect, and what kind of students will expect a scholarship?
So we have created different kind of scholarships. So if I talk about what kind of scholarships students can expect, we have created scholarships all the way from 25% to 50% to even 100%. Now, who can expect scholarships, and what do we expect when we are picking students from scholarship? One thing is, of course, anyone who is being selected for Scalar School of Technology, they have to showcase certain talent, right? And they have to show a certain spike in something where we can foresee that given a chance, this person can have really high impact career in technology. Right? So that is definitely there. Apart from that, we have also created certain scholarship on the basis of need as well. So there are certain scholarships. So for example, we have created a scholarship for women in tech. In our country, encouraging more and more women to get into tech and then tech leadership is super paramount. We have created a Brighter Future Scholarship, which is meant to support people who are very talented but come from an economic background where they might not be able to afford a high quality education, not just at Scalar but anywhere. There is a scholarship which we have reserved for people which we call Innovators of Tomorrow Scholarship. So students who have, shown certain outside of the regular schoolwork curriculum innovation in life, where we see a spark that they might, they have a mindset that they might create certain big impact technical innovations in the future. So these are different kind of scholarships that we have created.
Great. You mentioned about earlier that one of the core objectives of the program is to make sure that the students get their best outcome out of the program, which is why we're also being very selective to only get 200. And a big part of the program usually is that after 4 years, what kind of placements can I expect? So what kind of placements can the students expect here?
So at Scalar School of Technology, we try to make sure that it's fully industry aligned, which leads to very high quality job outcomes. Right? Now, generally, when we talk about placement, it comes as an afterthought that what would happen after 4 years. But any system which have faster feedback loops, that generally ends up working so much better than trying to wait all the way 4 years. So what we have tried to make sure is that after 18 months itself, we will figure out how do these students get a high quality paid internship at the top tech companies. Right now, then these students will spend a year with an integrated internship, being inside the industry, learning the craft, what they are going to do later. And once they come back from the internship, for further 1.5 months, we will be helping them learn the craft as a senior engineer. So here we have created various specializations. It could be in something like, say, algorithmic trading. That could be something related to tech leadership. That could be related to AI and ML specialization. And hence, by the time they finish their 4 years of education, they are going to be as capable as a senior engineer in the industry. Right? Now, someone who is graduating with capabilities as much as a senior engineer in the industry, they're bound to get so much better career outcome than someone who has graduated from a traditional institute. So that is how this entire process, the entire curriculum, it has been designed in a way reverse engineered from what would lead to highest quality job outcome for our students.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this earlier as well in the segment that we have a team of 1,500 professionals working at Scalar, and almost 100 of them just work in the placement cell. And these 100 have worked with over 900 companies already to get placements for these 200 students.
Right. So 900 employers for 200 students. So I'm very confident that, of course, 4 years when they will graduate is a lot of time to go, but their career outcomes are going to be phenomenal.
Great. Sounds really exciting. One of the other questions we've been getting from a lot of students is, why is this a compulsory residential program? Even if I'm from Bangalore, why do I have to come and stay on the campus?
I'm sure that will be hard on a lot of loving mothers. But what we realized is that as much you learn in the classroom, and we had talked about it earlier as well, that you learn equally, if not more, from your peers. And that is one of the reasons why we are trying to create a group of 200 really smart, really hardworking kids with the right attitude, right? So, and to ensure that, it's mandatory that they are living in an environment together which is highly conducive towards that. So in our micro campus, where all these students will be living together, there will be, we have something who we call as batch success managers. These are the teaching assistants / mentors who live in the same campus and ensure that even outside of the classroom, the students have access to someone who can help them learn in the right way. They can reach out to them at any point in time to take guidance, to take help on whatever is being taught to them. The campus has a lot of facilities. We have made sure that there are dedicated study areas in the campus. Like there is facilities to have their lab sessions in the campus itself. There are places like a big auditorium, a big amphitheater where they can watch movies together. They can have fun because as I said, that this campus is going to be their home for 4 years, right? And then ensuring that it's a place which gives them holistic development, that in a way necessitates that if you just come in and come out, if you come at 10 in the morning, leave at 4, then the kind of development, a holistic development we want to give to the student, that becomes pretty hard. And that is why we said that even if someone has been from Bangalore, they will have to live in the campus. Of course, they can go back to their homes a couple of times in a month over the weekends when they want, but it's a mandatorily residential program.
This sounds great. I've actually been to the campus myself, and it's beautiful. And I'm looking forward to having our 200 students on that campus to make it really buzzing. You know, if I reflect back on my 4 years of engineering that I did many years ago now, I made some of my best memories on campus. I made some of my best friends on campus as well. What kind of campus life can students expect?
So, fully agree that like it's not just about study all day, but it's super important that people have some fun as well. So the campus that we have, the micro campus that we have, it has a badminton court, it has a basketball court. At a very nearby place, we have a swimming pool. We have a turf where, you know, those who want to play cricket or football, they can go there and play that. In our main campus as well, we have a basketball court. We have a ample open space to just walk around, sit with the friends, collaborate there. Not just that. So this is more of a physical infra. As important as this physical infrastructure is, equally important is what kind of soft infrastructure exists. And by soft infrastructure, I mean, we have created various clubs. Like there could be something like a programming club, there could be a robotics club, there is a music club, there's a debate club. So what we have made sure is that there are these clubs created where students can find their passion. They learn to take responsibility and learn leadership by being, let's say, leaders of a specific club, selecting other members of the club, planning activities, and overall having fun together. Right? So creating a very cohesive community where people, of course, collaborate for their classrooms, things that they need to learn, but they learn a lot of social skills and have a lot of fun by participating and managing and running these various clubs as well.
Yeah. And for most loving parents out there, right, and I'm a parent myself, they care about also how will their son or daughter be living on the campus. I know and I've heard stories about a lot of institutions where students are lining up for using the bathroom. So tell me a little bit about just the infrastructure on what they can expect also in terms of living conditions and the kind of food they can expect on campus.
Again, very, very important thing because a healthy mind lives in a healthy body. And a healthy body is nothing but a result of what kind of space you are, what kind of environment you are living in, right? So we try to make sure that the students do not have to bother about things which are not efficient, which are not conducive for to be able to focus on their learning, growth, and having fun, right? So, for example, the rooms that we have in our micro campus, which will be allocated to the students, these are very spacious rooms. They come as a twin sharing, triple sharing, or single sharing, depending on the preference. They have an attached washroom. So as you said, that the students do not have to line up to brush the teeth, which I had to do when I was living in the hostel. The rooms, the entire space, it is a managed space. What that means is that the cleaning services are available, so that it always maintains as a hygienic space. As we know that when in the college, sometimes students might just get so busy that they do not even have the time to take care of this stuff. There's a laundry services in the micro campus itself, so again they don't have to waste their time just rubbing clothes. So we have taken care of all of these facilities. We talked about movie club, right? So there's an amphitheater where they can watch IPL together, they can watch movies together. We have planned to set up a movie club so that very high quality movies are screened in the movie club, right, which inspire, motivate, give them exposure to the right cultures across the world. Right. So we have taken care of, talking about the food, I think one of the most important one. Often we worry about that, if let's say if I am someone from Delhi and if I'm planning to move to Bangalore, will I have to eat dosa every day? Right? Or while it's a delicious food, it's a very healthy food.
My favorite.
As well. But at the same time, we had made sure that there's a very hygienic, healthy mess on premise available, which serve both South Indian food, North Indian food, vegetarian food for preference. It even have option to serve non-vegetarian food as well, who have preference for that. Even in the vegetarian food menu, we have ensured that it's high on protein and nutritions that make sure that everyone remains really healthy and fit. So we have taken good care of making sure that it's an environment which makes people mentally strong and physically healthy both.
Sounds amazing. And I know we have a video that we released recently on the campus walkthrough. So for all of you out there who haven't seen that video, there's a link that you can actually look at, and you can actually see the entire video, and get a good tour of the campus. Of course, if the students want to come visit the campus, they're more than welcome to come visit the campus as well and get a tour in person as well. And I do want to add, you'll also get a chance to interact with Abhimanyu sir and Anshuman sir as well, besides, of course, me on campus. So yeah, and in case there are any more questions that our students have or our parents have, please drop them in the comments below, and we'll do a round 2 and answer those questions. And also, in case you think this video and all these questions we've answered will help others as well, please do share this video and this link with other students and other parents as well. All right, great. Thank you so much for your time, Abhimanyu.
Thank you.
And I hope we answered all the questions really well.
Absolutely.
Sign off here.